Hi, everybody, and welcome to OJT Talk. Hey, Lydia.
Hey, Vonda.
All right, Lydia.
Let's get it in.
Yes. So today we are actually going to be talking about civil unrest.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia and I were getting ready to have a conversation, getting ready to talk like we do. And Lydia said, stop. She was like, that's a good topic for the podcast. And so I was like, oh, okay, let's record. Let's go.
Press
So,
play. Yeah. Press record.
basically, Lydia and I had not had a chance to discuss the plot to kidnap and do harm to Governor Whitmer in Michigan.
Yeah.
So, and as soon as I brought it up, that's when Lydia stopped me. So we're getting ready to discuss that right now. Lydia has said on several of our podcasts that she believes that there's going to be civil unrest. Mm-hmm. And for me, the plot against Governor Whitmer confirms the direction that this is going in. Exactly. And I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm definitely not a conspiracy theorist, but we really need to be careful and be alert and aware of our surroundings. Right. You know, we can't afford to let people goad us into any type of conflict or, you know, negative confrontational discussions or situations. This is real.
It is. It's very real. And I think this whole thing with with 13 people they arrested, right? Yeah. They arrested 13 people. I think it brings brings this into reality that this is what's really going on. And, you know, when Trump is on a debate stage and he's saying, stand back and stand by, these are the people who are standing by. Mm-hmm. And not only were they going to kidnap Governor Whitmer, they were going to try to overthrow government.
Yep.
It wasn't just, it was a whole plan. And the only reason why they got caught is because somebody said something that was on the inside. So I don't know. I feel like this is just indicative of a bigger picture that we're facing, because what these guys were from the Wolverine militia or something like that. Was that the name of the place?
I think so.
Yeah. And so anyway, you know, what we need to realize is these guys are domestic terrorists. They're not militia. Militia are hired by law enforcement or government. These guys were not hired by either one, as far as we know.
Right.
They were not hired. So really, they're just terrorists. They're just thugs with guns. And I'm just so freaking tired of seeing people who are on the right being identified as militia instead of what they really are. You know, I don't know. That's my opinion anyway.
And how inappropriate, how disrespectful that nobody has heard or seen the man that looks like Fred Flintstone.
Oh my God.
And Bill Barr. No, exactly. Where is he at?
Yeah.
He's the freaking attorney general.
Exactly.
Where is he at?
He's hiding in the bunker. I don't know. I mean, I think he's sick personally. I think he's got corona like everybody else.
You do?
Mean, yeah, I do. I mean, they're not going to tell you because they don't want anybody to panic, but they're not going to say anything until it gets real serious. And then it's going to be an excuse. It really wasn't the corona. It was something else.
I can see that.
So yeah, it's always a freaking don't pay attention to the guy behind the curtain, you know, kind of thing. So
Lydia, I want to ask you something. And of course, this is just our opinion, our speculation. But Lydia, how bad do you, in your opinion, do you think it's going to get? Like, excuse me, how bad do you think it'll be just on November 3rd alone? Like, do you think that there are going to be people out there trying to cause chaos and fear to keep people from voting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely think that there are going to be pockets where people are more aggressive than others, where they're out there with their rifles and guns trying to intimidate people from voting. They're not supposed to be so far from a voting booth or voting place, but they could be close enough to do some real intimidation, which is voter intimidation is against the law, but it doesn't matter because these people don't care about the law apparently.
And who's going to enforce it?
Yeah, I mean, even with the militia, there was a Michigan sheriff that came to the militia's defense. Are you serious? I'm sorry, I said that while you were drinking. Sorry. But
that's crazy.
It's craziness. I mean, these are domestic terrorists. We are supposed to, me and you took an oath to fight all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And domestic.
And these are people that are domestic terrorists, and we have to sound the alarm.
Lydia, two of them were prior military. Two of them are veterans, military veterans. Come on.
Give us a bad name.
You know, there's not any like secret brotherhood, sisterhood, fraternity, or anything that I'm aware of like that as far as military members go. Do we always look out for each other? Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. If there's a need that one of us has, mm-hmm. do we look out for each other? Yeah, we do. What's going on with that is insane.
It is. It's insane. And I think I read somewhere, it's a conspiracy theory, but I read that a lot of these places are actually sending some of their people who are already like involved in their militias and their terrorist groups into the military so they can learn stuff. And then when they get out, they have the training that they can share with other people. So that's a conspiracy theory. I have no proof. I have no evidence, but that's one line of thought that people are using, is that they're actually recruiting people, then sending them into the military so that they can train other people.
I could see that.
It sounds plausible. I mean, it really does. So
how bad do you think, in your opinion, it's going to be on November the 4th when everybody knows definitively that President Joe Biden won? How bad do you literally do you see people going literally off the deep end, like destroying things, trying to?
Yeah, I think there's going to be riots, of course. I think there's going to be riots.
On both sides or one side?
It's going to be on both sides, honestly. But I think it's going to turn out just like it did in Kenosha. Just like it did in Washington. There's going to be some shootings. There's going to be some civil war. I do think it maybe might not happen November 4th, but in the days afterwards. I mean, I'm not psychic, but I don't think it's going to be peaceful at all. And I know for certain our president is not going to try to calm things down. I know for certain, because when people show you who they are, believe them.
Heck yeah.
And I believe he is going to just continue to egg it on until, and especially since he's going to lose. And he knows he's going to lose.
I think he knows too.
So if he's going to lose, when he loses, he is going to continue to stir up the pot. And I think it's going to be a rough transition until next year. Unless we get some real adults, people who actually stand up and say, Mr. President, you have to do something. I'm talking about people in the GOP. I'm talking about Lindsey Graham. Even if he loses, he needs to stand up and say something.
He's going to lose. I'm convinced.
I'm talking about Mitch McConnell saying something. I'm saying about these key people that are like that we can't stand. I believe they need to be the ones to stand up and say something, and fall on their sword, like Wick Waco said, and just
yes.
You know what? Okay, you know what? I lost anyway. Let me go ahead and do the right thing. So that's the way I look at it.
I agree. Now, as far as Black people and people of color, do you think, in your opinion, of course, do you think things are going to be unsafe for us?
Yeah, and I think especially as we get closer to the transfer of power, it's going to increase, and even afterwards, it's going to be a mess for a little while. But I think it will calm down as long as, because I believe Joe Biden will have a plan and a group of experts around him that will put in place people who will bring calm to the situation.
Yeah,
so
I do too. I believe that too.
Yeah.
And Lydia, I know there's a lot of people that don't, like Michael Cohen or Anthony Scaramucci, but I can't tell a lie. I'm laughing because if I know that they're going to be interviewed on CNN or MSNBC, I'm watching. Especially Michael Cohen, because he really did. He took the bullet.
Yeah.
So, and he was on CNN with Don Lemon, and he said that this is the worst he's ever seen. Of course, he's seen the bad side of Trump, but he said that the way that he's acting now, this is the worst that he's ever seen. And he said that when he went before Elijah Cummings, he said, I told you all then he was a racist. He's a racist. Nobody was listening. Look, now everybody's saying he's a racist.
And another thing he said is that Trump will not leave the office peacefully. He said that months ago. And then they ask Trump directly, will you leave peacefully? Well, we'll see what happens. Come on. Are you serious? You are not a dictator. You are barely even a president. You have not demonstrated the character of a president. But you are definitely not a dictator. Oh, Vonda, I don't like fighting, but I will tell you this. I will try to overthrow a government if there tries to be a dictator. I will do whatever I can. I'll be in the planning room. I'm not healthy. So I'll be doing something. We'd be doing something strategic. Seriously, there's no way I'm gonna allow a freaking dictator to run the United States. I'm sorry.
He can't do it. He can't win. He can't. Mm-mm. Joe Biden's got this.
He does. And it's picking up steam. And I got to tell you something. I went through, Florida's highly Republican.
Yes.
And, older people out here are highly Republican.
Yes.
And I drove through some retirement communities yesterday, a couple of them, probably about 3 or 4 of them. And how about I saw a bunch of Biden signs. I saw the Nope sign with Donald Trump's hair on it. I saw more of those than I saw any Trump ones. So I was encouraged.
Awesome. And Lydia, they I think it was at the Villages, there was, I think, hundreds of senior citizens that rented golf carts that all support Joe Biden. They had their own little golf cart parade, and I'm like, yes.
It's encouraging. And especially when I'm driving around and I see a sign that said Republicans in the know, vote for Joe. Like, you see billboards with that, and I'm really encouraged with that
that is awesome.
You're seeing the support, and most of the time people are afraid to show their support, but they're like, nah, these senior citizens are really going in.
You know what I wasn't encouraged by? What the heck is Brexit? That rally that Trump did at the White House, yesterday, and it was all these Black people and people of color. I'm like, what is going on here? What are y'all doing?
They're leaving the Democratic Party because they're saying the Democratic Party has been riding on the Black vote for so long, and it hasn't done anything for the Black community, that they're Blexiting, they're leaving. And that's how Candace Owens got really famous, because she became a really big spokesperson for the Blexit movement. So it's all a scam, because we don't, I mean, you got a president that won't condemn white supremacy, just outright. And you're thinking he's going to do more for the Black community than anybody else?
Not going to happen.
So yeah, that you just drank the Kool-Aid and threw it up and drank it again. Sorry.
I loathe Candace Owens. I cannot stand her.
Oh, me neither.
She does not represent me in any way, form, or fashion. I am not a fan.
She's on my list.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everybody that's listening and that tuned in, just be careful, be alert, and please wear a mask.
Please.
Wear a mask, social distance, and if you're going to vote in person, go early. Don't get tricked. Ignore the nonsense. That's what they want us to do. They want us to act up. Don't fall for it. Just ignore, vote, and move on. So, Lydia, you want to let everybody know where to find you at?
You can find me at JustLydia111 on all social media. And you can find our merch, just like this nifty shirt, at ojusttalk.net. And you could also find the links for our podcast there. So if you missed an episode, you can click on it and catch up.
And you can find me at Ovonda, OHVONDA, on all social media outlets. And we also do have a Twitter page now at Just Talk, and on Facebook, Just Talk, and on Instagram, Just Talk.
Just Talk.
Oh, and if you guys ever have a topic that you want us to discuss, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and drop it in the comments. Also, if there are any Black or minority-owned businesses, or if there's an individual that's doing a lot for their community, please drop their name and their info in the comment section on the YouTube channel so we can support and give them a shout out. So with that being said, remember, the comeback is always greater than the setback, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, Lydia.
Bye.